7, I think we're going to probably get started on this. Just have a public service announcement. In case of an emergency, could everyone please exit the chamber and proceed to the ground floor using the right or left stairwell to allow for emergency personnel to enter. Thank you very much. So, could everyone please take their seat, and we will begin. I'm just going to read a brief statement here at the beginning of this public hearing. This is a public hearing of the City Council regarding cable franchise renewal for the City of Kingston. This public hearing is held pursuant to Section 626 of the Federal Cable Act, which sets forth the process for a franchise renewal. The city's current franchise with Time Warner will expire soon, and the city is beginning the process of renewing the franchise. This public hearing is part of the preliminary portion of the franchise renewal, in which the city reviews the cable operators' past performance and identifies the city's future cable-related community needs. As such, as part of this public hearing, we invite comments from any citizens who wish to speak regarding either or both of the aforementioned subjects. Franchise renewal is the best opportunity for municipalities to assert their rights with respect to their cable operator and to obtain important benefits in return for granting the cable operator the right to use their public rights of way. These benefits include 1. A state-of-the-art cable system now and in the future. 2. Strong customer service standards. 3. Free service to community facilities. 4. Better reporting requirements from the cable operators. 5. Maximize franchise fees. 6. An educational and government EG channel. 7. Legal protection of the right-of-way. And number 8. Better mechanisms to enforce the franchise agreement. These are just some of the potential benefits available through franchise renewal. Citizens may address these items or any other cable-related items that are important to them. We will now open the hearing up to the citizens' comments. Thank you. We have a sign-up sheet at the podium there. Anyone wishing to address the council at this time, please sign your name and address for the record. We have someone who got it.
I know first.
We have Okay. So we're going to start with the first one.
Mayor Noble.
Thank you very much for the opportunity this evening to discuss my thoughts on the franchise fee negotiations. For the record, my name is Steve Noble. I'm the mayor of the City of Kingston. I live at 101 Wilson Avenue, Kingston, New York. I think it's critical as we go through these negotiations to make sure that we're holding Time Warner Cable accountable for all of the services that they are providing to our residents. And so with a renegotiation of our franchise agreement, I think that it's very important for us to focus on a few key areas. One of them is for our benefit, is to make sure that our new agreement has a detailed definition of what the gross revenues that would be designated to the City of Kingston would be, and making sure that that definition captures all of the different products and services that they can. I also believe that in the negotiated agreement, it's very important to make sure that we hold Time Warner Spectrum to specific testing, compliance, repair, restoration service levels. For our own sake, for making sure that as a utility, it's effectively operating within our city. I believe it's also very important for our city to be able to make sure that the customer service that is provided to our residents is top-notch, and that any future agreement contains specific customer service levels of service and standards, so that we know that our residents are being protected and that our residents have the opportunity, if they're not being served, to be assisted by the city and through this agreement. And so I look forward to working with Time Warner Cable and Spectrum to be able to have that included. I also believe it's important in today's day and age where our administration is focusing on open government and transparency. We need to be able to do a better job of communicating with our residents. And so I believe that Time Warner Cable and Spectrum Services should be providing the appropriate capital support to the city to be able to fund our public educational and government channels here within the city. Of most importance to me is making sure that we can fund a government channel that shares on cable all of our public meetings, our public forums, being able to provide the appropriate amenities within these chambers and within our meeting rooms in this building, to be able to make sure that we can do that effectively, efficiently, and being able to just make sure that all of our residents know what's going on in our city. And I believe that this franchise agreement can help put the necessary resources into that. And so with that, I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity this evening.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Art Richters.
Just give me a second here. I should put some notes down. It's been about 10 years for this as my passion to come here. It feels like almost every single night to film the council meetings and or even any meeting in regards to informational and put it out there to the public. I used to do this for a long period of time on our public access station, which now lies in the town of Esopus, and it wasn't for the town of Esopus to take over the public access to provide it, because as soon as I get a chance, when I'm done uploading it to the internet, to the council meeting or press conference, I try to send some stuff over there, and they're very nice at working with the City of Kingston to figure out a way to keep it going. But so I wanted to speak about just my oversight of Time Warner, Spectrum, my service that we receive at home, so I'm able to upload these videos. A lot of times I can go to here City Hall or the library, but it's convenient for me, especially on a cold winter night, to go home and upload a couple of hours at my own house. So I have to get like high speed, and that sometimes is kind of like frustrating because the speed is always not the exact same. Just to let the council know. And the whole digital thing argument when they came up is when the digital box came out, that right now I don't even have cable because that was more frustrating, and I hear a lot of talk that a lot of people are like that too, where they just like gave up and just let it go. It's unfortunate that this contract only handles the cable aspect of it. It doesn't handle the internet. The city and myself rely more on the internet itself. I would love to have public access on, or cable on again, but I can't afford it. So the city should really oversee what they're charging and for a service itself. And I think if you're getting internet for $60 a month, you should get Cablevision along with it too, basic cable, so you can stay informed of it. Because a lot of people, like senior citizens or people that just can't afford cable, are missing out. And so hopefully, and I'd like to thank the mayor for being very much a supportive informational transparency in the City of Kingston. So hopefully that whole public access, internet public access, or whatever you want to call it, will come and to play and inform the citizens of Kingston, because that's the most important thing. Because if you don't inform the citizens and they don't know what's going on, chances are they're going to come to the meeting full force and rally you up a little bit. So for my thing, it's unfortunate too that the City of Kingston was only able to have one franchise agreement with just one company, because they're dominant and there's not any place else you can go besides you can always get like the digital antenna, that you're not going to get as much knowledge out of that as you would as far as like cable vision. And then the whole process of, I looked at this years ago. What they did was they knocked off channels, Channel 6 in Albany, I think Channel 10, and that never went to a public hearing. They just automatically cut it off. And then I was looking at the cable bill. They're actually charging now for local broadcasting, which I was like, wait a minute. I'm basically the only person in the City of Kingston that goes out there and clicks the stuff on YouTube, and I rarely see, except for like YNN or whatever, providing local access. I think we don't have the local access like we should have the local access. And that's really crucial for a city to inform their citizens. So with that, I'm hoping that the City of Kingston will rethink on this whole digital aspect of, as discouraging to me, I would rather just like leave the box off and just hook the cable right to my TV or whatever. And I'm hoping that the city will somehow incorporate cable vision along with the internet. If you're paying for internet, you should be get your cable too. It's still part of the service that you provide. And I just wanted to leave on the one thing is that a hot topic too is the modem for the internet. It went from $5 to $10. I think that really, they need to reimburse the citizens and of all, and because I think that they're overcharging the customer because that's a service that they're providing. You shouldn't have to pay for a piece of equipment for service. And there's more aspect. I was hoping that a lot more people would come and speak about their Cablevision, Time Warner, or whatever access, but I guess that's the way it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Ian Jacobs.
Good evening. Sorry, I have a cold, laryngitis, but I'm here this evening in support of Kingston area public access. I am a former producer on Kingston area public access for 6 years. Jacobs Live, People for People. I produce my own show on Wednesday evenings at 8 o'clock. I gave the public an opportunity to have a voice. That is critically important. It is critically important that we continue to inform our public. And ladies and gentlemen, do not believe that TV has gone away. I've done my research. We've just watched over the last year the presidential election. We know how many people tuned in to the TV shows when there were the debates, etc., etc. So virtually over 50% of the people in America continue to still watch television. It is a critical component, and we have taken the voice of the people away. I have said it over and over. I did not hear Honorable Mayor speak this evening, but I am a firm believer that it should be housed here within City Hall. When the equipment left and went over to Esopus, I was extremely disturbed at that. And quite frankly, the people have been robbed of their voice since September of 2010, when we were at Studio 21, and we had the opportunity then to produce our shows. The people looked forward to it, and I urge you here this evening to recognize the importance of returning Channel 23, however you handle the media. I'm not Clark Richter. He's very fashionable and he's very intuitive in terms of the media. I know this. I still turn on my television. I go to Channel 23. Nothing. Now and then a meeting, and I'm not condemning town of Esopus. I know the people there. I am also I'm not going to say former, I am the president of Friends of Public Access. Okay, I am the fundraising component, quite frankly. So I urge everyone, I'm sorry there wasn't a larger turnout tonight, because believe me when I tell you, people did tune in. And collaboratively, we must work together to return this to the people. Inform them of the meetings, education. Education, the power is in education. We inform our public. How many people buy the newspapers? How many people actually have computers? My dad, if he was living today, would turn on the tube, as he would say. He wasn't going to be involved in all of that. So I stand before you this evening. I am a former producer. I look forward to the current administration returning Kingston area public access to the 9 towns and hamlets and provide the resources. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes everyone that has signed up at the sheet that was at the podium. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council at this time in reference to the franchise agreement?